Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Oh, got a little man going for a walk. Good for you. Good for you, Mr. Man. How's everybody? Hello. Hi. Good morning. Okay, I just love this new feature because have you guys done Facebook Live since the update? Because I can see all your pretty little faces. Wait, does this mean I can add people? There's a little camera next to their faces. Does this mean I can add people to be a guest star? We can do interviews with your roving reporter. No sound. What? What? No sound. Hold on. Tell me if you can hear me. Hi, Amy. Hi, Carrie. Tell me if you can hear me. Mama, can you hear me? Papa, it's Papa. Yentl. Anyone see Yentl? Okay, no one's telling me if you can hear me. Hi. Okay. Seriously, somebody say, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Anyone? Oh, you can hear me because I was talking about. Okay. Honey, it's not my fault. Who is it? Jennifer, it's not my fault that you can't hear me. Got to do something. It's your phone. Turn it on. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, it is going to be a hot day here in Southern California. My Midwest and Northern people, have you dug out yet? Are you done with your winterness? Are you on the road to Springtown? Huh? I did a little funny in my thing. Good morning, glories. And then I'm like, people probably don't even get my jokes. Because morning glories. But I think they're purple. But there wasn't a purple flower. And I was spending way too much time in the emoji department looking for something that looked like a morning glory. Because I do believe that they are purple. Right? At the dentist. Oh, good for you, Catherine. Good for you. Oh, my goodness. But yes, it's going to be a hot day here today. Hot day. I have been busy girl. So that's part of the reason we're doing Q&A today. Well, and also I like to do a Q&A. I had a good time last time we did Q&A. Remember, I was in the car with Marty on the way to the airport. I like a Q&A every few weeks because it's a lot of information, over the course of the couple of weeks. And I try to go through and answer all the questions that are posted below, but I think it's nice to have a little Q&A. And I ain't scared. Ask what you want. I'll answer what I want. Yeah, so it makes it exciting for me. I like to interact with you guys too. So anyways, yes, been busy and sick this week. Isn't that fun? Yeah, it's fun. Good times. But I'm on the upswing and leaving on Monday for Costa Rica. I've never been to Costa Rica. It's a unique trip. Very excited. We're going to spend the first 2 days volunteering at a home. It's a school for girls who are ages 12 to 18, and they have been in abusive situations and neglect, things like that, and they were taken out of their homes. So we get to go volunteer there. Unique is donating. They have like a little store, and the girls get, I don't know, tokens or something for good behavior and for good grades and things like that, and then they can take those and go spend them in the store. But their little store has nothing in it. Like nothing. Like one bottle of nail polish. So Unique, in true Unique fashion, is stocking that sucker full of skincare and makeup, tons of stuff. Unique is also putting in a soccer field and I believe a basketball court and some playground equipment because their backyard is just dirt. And so we're gonna, along with, there's like 22 of us, I believe, with our husbands, are going to put that all together, and then we're also bringing a bunch of clothes and shoes and things to donate to the store. So it's going to be very exciting. It's going to be very bittersweet, I'm sure, because pulls on your heartstrings, you know? So we're going to do that for the first 2 days, and then we go an hour away to the coast, and then we stay there for a few days. So I'm very excited. I'm still going to be around because I know I'm going to be excited and want to share some of that with you. We're not, they don't want us taking pictures because we're not allowed to have pictures of the girls because they could be in danger if people find out where they are and that kind of stuff. So, but after it's over, I may be popping on here just to kind of give you guys an update. But I am going to unplug for a while because Mr. Brown is going on this trip with me. He makes only a few appearances a year at unique events. Mainly because he's not invited to, no. Well, no, that's true. Like, he doesn't come to convention. There's no need for Mr. Brown to be at convention. I am working. But he goes on these trips with me, and he goes to Black Status Retreat with me, so I will be unplugging some just to get a little time for some uninterrupted conversation since there will be no children. Hi. Okay. So now listen here. Give us some, Brandy, you are on it like a bonnet. I love this. Give us some feeling words. How does it feel to be Black status and financially free? It will help us to allow those feelings to show up in ways we can build on. Okay. I'm going to tell you something. I was 30 years old. Some of you might have heard the story. I was 30 years old. I had just purchased a condo on my own. I was flying high. I was so excited. I had a massage therapy business. It was a miracle that I was able to buy a condo in Southern California. You think God doesn't work in mysterious ways? I was making $14,000 a year. And I bought a condo in Southern California. Second month that I was there, mortgage was due on Friday. I had plenty of work that whole week. It was Monday. I had plenty of work the whole week. And all of a sudden, every single client that week canceled within 2 hours. Okay, that caught my attention. When stuff like that happens, it's not to say that I didn't freak out, because I completely freaked out. But when stuff like that happens, I'm like, okay, that can't just be a coincidence, okay? Cut to me crying, a hot mess, like fetal position, freaked out. Like, oh great, I got this condo and now I'm going to lose it. But here's what I did. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I just knew I had to calm myself down. I sat, took a deep breath, and I was like, okay, in this moment, I have a condo. In this moment, there is food in my refrigerator. In this moment, all of my bills are paid. In this moment, I have good credit. And I tried to just be in that moment because there's nothing I could do. There's nothing I could do. Now, I couldn't stay there for very long because I had to hustle, like to try to call to find people. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we get a minute to like, and cry and have it be a mess. But as I was sitting there, and I kept repeating that to myself out loud, in this moment, I have, this is my situation. Like, everything in that moment was good. Okay. Friday, I don't know. But on Monday, everything was fine. I felt this weight lift off my shoulders. Like, I literally like took a deep breath and I just felt this lightness. And I didn't know it at the time, but that feeling, that's what abundance feels like. So when I started making money, and then I started making big money with Unique, I got that feeling again. You know what this feeling is. You could imagine. I'm telling you, whatever you think it is, it is. It is lightness. Imagine, I want you to really, really, really imagine sitting down to pay your bills and just paying everything in full. paying off my car, paying off my house, paying off my medical bills, paying off my credit card, paying off, right? What would that, like, are you like, right? If it's hard for you to imagine that money coming from you, imagine if Oprah Winfrey gave you and said, here's my checkbook. No, Oprah says, here's a whole bunch of money, pay your debt off. What would that feel like, right? It feels like lightness. It feels like freedom. It's pure joy. It is pure joy. But you don't have to hit and become $1 million earner to have that feeling. Because the funny thing is, I know everybody says you got to have big goals. You got to have big goals. Dream big, dream big. Okay, well, kind of I didn't do that. I dreamed really, really small. And there are some people that get really annoyed when I tell this story. So it kind of makes me want to tell it more. But, kidding, I'm just a brat a little bit. But my mani-pedi story, that was my goal when I joined Unique. I wanted to make enough to earn one mani-pedi a month. So that's what? $30 plus a tip. Maybe let's just say $40. And I made $40 in my very first day. Oh, I just earned a mani-pedi. I was getting like maybe two mani-pedis in a year. Okay? I was doing my own. 2 mani-pedis in a year to get one a month? Are you kidding me? What a gift. I was joyful. Joyful. I was so excited. But do you see, when you think about what we were learning about the law of attraction, I was sending out joy. I was sending out abundance, because that one mani-pedi to me was abundance. I was fancy pants. I could have a different color every single month, and I didn't have to do it. Who do you think you are, Miss Shari Brown? One mani-pedi a month. It was joy. I was sending that out. Woohoo! I am fancy. And guess what? Fancy came right back to me. Fancy came right back to me. So that's what I say when I'm trying to say, don't think that joy and that abundance feeling is way out there in the future. It's here right now. It is here right now. There are hundreds of thousands of people whose goal is to be where you are in their life. That's a true story. You know that's true. Within our own United States, for sure outside, right? For sure outside, there are a lot of other countries where your lifestyle, where you maybe think that you are struggling and have all of these financial issues, there are people in other countries, that's their lifetime goal, to be able to get where you are. So it's realizing that. And you know something? Even when I had money struggles, there was a time in my life, and it was not the worst time in my life, but there was a time in my life when I literally had a little tiny bank that I had been given when I was a kid, and I got all the change out of there, and I went to the store, and I'm not like a young person here when this was happening. I was like 28 years old. I had like $3.12. I went to the grocery store. I had it in a little baggie, and I went to the grocery store and I bought a loaf of bread, a dozen eggs, and some milk. Blows my mind I was able to buy it, but it was like the cheapest of the cheap. It was it was the bread that was like old and right, and the 99-cent eggs that I don't even want to see what those chickens look like. Because I'm thinking I could do a lot with milk, bread, and eggs, right? I can make French toast. So I had a little bit of syrup in that cupboard. But I never felt poor. I never felt... I remember my mom making hamburger helper when I was a kid and dividing it, like only using half of a pound of hamburger so the next night she could use the other half pound for tacos. Well, can you even imagine? I mean, I have a family of 4 and my kids eat like birds. I cannot imagine making hamburger helper to feed an entire family, especially my husband. He could eat the whole pound of meat himself on half a pound of hamburger. But I never felt poor. So I think that's the biggest thing. Get rid of that, like, check yourself. Like, we all have to check ourselves before you wreck yourself. Because you have to realize that you have so much more than maybe you think you have. And the more you can appreciate what you have, the more you're going to get, because you're giving out appreciation and you're giving out gratitude, and it comes right back to you, right? It's like when you put a drop in a pool of water and the ripples go out, but then the ripples come right back to you, baby. They come right back to you. You want to send out a whole bunch of ripples too, because we want a lot coming back. So there's that. Let me see. I know. No, honestly, I don't bring the husband to convention because, first of all, I don't have time to babysit him. I don't have time to do all that. How do you handle, wait, we have to see more. Hold on here. Sorry, I clicked see more and then it hold on. There was a question here about, there was a question about the legs. How do you handle it if you have a leg? Here it goes. How do you handle picking up the pieces of a leg on your team when the leader decides to leave and trash our company all over Facebook? I've blocked her and safeguarded my own business and momentum of about 10 girls feeling the slump now and in a low. Group chatting and cheering on small success. Anything else you suggest? Okay, here's the thing. The law of thirds. 1/3 of the people in your team are coming into the company and they're brand new. 1/3 are working their business and 1/3 are on their way out. Okay, so that's number one. We set expectations. 1/3 of your team is leaving at all times, which is why sponsoring is so important. You got to keep 1/3 coming in. So you will find your team sluggish. This is just not you, but this is just a general rule. If a team is sluggish and isn't growing, it's because that 1/3 is always going to leave. But you're not bringing 1/3 in as a whole. Everybody's not bringing in 1/3. Okay, that's number one. Number two, leaver's going to leave. And what they say about the company, any company, I don't care what company, what they say, and I get it because I bleed purple. I don't like to see people speaking poorly about the company, and especially when you see people talking badly about the company and you know the truth of the situation and why they're gone, but you can't say anything. That sticks in my craw, but it's okay. You just have to move on. The less attention you give it and them, the better. Okay, leaver's gonna leave, you're gonna leave, block, done, do, boom, bye Felicia. And I'm not saying block because, we don't like anybody who is not with Unique. That's not it at all. It is because in too many cases, they try to poach. Here's what happens in a lot of cases. Somebody's chugging along and they are a certain status. Let's say they are recognized as an orange status presenter, which means that orange is the highest level that they've ever achieved within the company. But they're not maintaining that. They're not maintaining orange. They're getting paid at green, sometimes getting paid at blue. So, and they don't want to do, and I'm serious when I tell you that I'm speaking from experience that I have seen this happen over and over and over and over. And you try to coach these people and you try to say, hey, listen, you know, because they'll say, oh, my team is dying, You talk about the law of thirds. You got to keep people coming in, but you have to train them. You can't just, you know, boost a Facebook ad and get tons of people coming in and then just leave them. And you can't sell the kit. There is no selling the kit. People shouldn't join to get the kit. Sell them a collection if they want to be a customer. The kit just comes along with a business opportunity. They don't want the business. You see what I'm saying? So they sell the kit. So they got all these people. You got warm bodies, but these people have no interest. They just wanted the makeup that comes in the kit for $99. So that's your other problem. But then this person doesn't want to do the work that it requires to maintain orange status. They can do it. They just don't wanna. They don't want to get down in the mud. They don't want to get their hands dirty. They don't want to do the work it requires. So then they blame the company. They blame the products. Go read Big Al's How to Build Network Marketing Leaders. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. He says it flat out right there. If there's anyone in your company who is making money that's not the comp plan, that's the problem. If there's anybody in your company who is selling the products, it is not the products that are the problem. And wherever you go, there you are. So they decide, look, it's too much work. I don't want to do it. I know what I'll do. There's a bright, shiny ball over here. There's another company over here. I'll go over there and I'll see if I can get some rock stars from other people's teams to follow me. That is why people get blocked. That's the reason. And you know what's funny? Derek said in the very beginning, he's our CEO for those who don't know. Derek said in the very beginning, you know, look, if somebody wants to leave, that's fine. Go ahead. You know, nothing's gonna, it's in the presenter's agreement. It's in every presenter's agreement for every direct sales company about cross recruiting. You know, you're not allowed to do that and all that. And he's like, you know what though? If they want to leave, then that's completely fine. He changed his tune 2 years in because what he saw happening was women who were working really, really hard in their business and building strong businesses were being undermined by women who didn't want to work and decided to leave and tried to steal what wasn't theirs. You know what I'm saying? So I got off on a bit of a tangent, but it's funny you mention this because I was talking to somebody else this morning and this kind of was the same conversation. So there must be a reason I need to say this. So that's what happens. So don't judge a book by its cover, because there's always a reason. There's always a reason that, think about it. How many friends do you have on Facebook that you know in real life and you're like, girl, if only your Facebook life was what your real life was, right? We always joke. There's memes all over the place about people in their Facebook life. Don't judge real life by their highlight reel or whatever, right? Stuff like that. It's the same. It's the same. And when people do exit videos, you know, I get a lot of questions all the time. Why does someone have to do an exit video? Duh! They're recruiting. Hello! Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. You think I don't see what's going on? They do an exit video like, this is why I left. But now I'm over here, so if you want to, you know, message me. Or, I've been getting so many messages. No, you haven't. Nobody's messaging you. Nobody's messaging you. I am the queen of marketing. I have very strong prescription glasses. I see right through all of that. I mean, God bless, if only you'd put that much hustle into the business you left, for heaven's sakes. I don't know. I just feel like when you've built something, you need to take care of the thing that you have built. Why would you leave what you've worked so hard for to start over? A lot of times I think people think that it's a get rich quick. And then, when they jump in and they realize, oh, snap, like this is like a business. This is like a job. And then they lose their, they lose the thrill. They lose the thrill. Now for me, I've always thought if I've lost the thrill, because that's happened to me in every business I've ever had, well, that you get bored or you're like, oh, I don't know, it's not lighting me up anymore. Okay, it is a sign. It is guidance. Hey, it's time to try something new. I don't really know what that new thing is. I got to start investigating. What am I interested in? What lights me up right now? How can I incorporate that into my business? So now to get to your question, we went way around the horn, didn't we? To get to your question on how do you scoop them up? First thing you do is you have this expectation that I just gave you. Second thing you do is you realize you have no control over who leaves and who doesn't. And you scoop up those you can scoop up. You reach out to them. You let them know that you're there. You let them know. You get them in your team pages. And it's very interesting too, because it really highlights how many people have had an employee mindset. People with an employee mindset will freak out if their leader leaves. People with a business owner's mindset, they may be bummed, but it doesn't affect your business at all. At all. I don't care who leaves. It does not affect your business at all because you're not an employee. They're not your manager. They're not your boss. You run your own ship. So that's important. I think that that's a good piece of information because it's good to remind everybody. And I will tell you something. This is what's really weird. I've had leaders leave and because they weren't happy with their team and whatever, and people weren't working or whatever. So they leave. And after they leave, those leaders thrive. They thrive. Has nothing to do with me. This is what I have learned, okay? Because at first I was like, whoa, that is crazy. And it's not that the person who left wasn't a good leader, but they were being a manager. Ego gets in the way a lot of times. And so if a leader is acting like a boss, if they're acting like everybody's boss, then people are going to behave like an employee. When they left, all of a sudden these leaders were like, oh God, they were scared, but they're like, oh, it's up to me. Uh-oh, it's up to me. It's up to me. And then they're like, it's up to me. And they took off. So that is why on YouTube, I did a Facebook Live a while back about green status presenters having their own page and getting out of their uplines group. Every presenter should be in a green status upline and in a black status upline. If there's a black status and then a purple, an orange, a green, an orange, and a green, this green at the bottom here, all of her people should be in her group only, none of the other greens and orange and purples, and then in the black status. Do you see what I'm saying? Too many people in too many groups. And this is for two reasons. Number one, that green status, she deserves to feel like a leader. She deserves. A lot of times, leaders don't step up to the plate because what's the point? I got 15 leaders above me that are all posting and sharing the same stuff, and what's the point? They don't need me. They do need you, and you earn that spot. So get your butt in there, and you make your own group, and you take them out of those greens and oranges and purples in between. Now, when one of those hits black status, okay, they go back in that group, okay? Every presenter should be in a green status group and a black status group. That's it. Now, some of those oranges and purples up above, they get a little bit scared when I say that. But they get scared because it's possible that that was their strongest leg of the company. And I hear this a lot. Well, Shari, if they take their people out of my team page, I don't have anybody left in my circle. That's the problem. That's the problem. You need to build your circle. See, they get afraid. They don't want to look. They don't want to look at the reality that the majority of their team is in one leg. Because it makes them feel bad, because it makes them feel scared. And so they're kind of like, I'm not looking, and they just pretend. This guy, dude, I'm working, Mr. Man. Don't you stare at me. But they don't want to look at that, right? You take those people out of there, all that's left is their circle. And sometimes it's very small, and sometimes everyone in there's sleeping, but you know why they're sleeping and why it's small? Because you haven't been putting your time and attention there. And so when you do incentives now and it's just your circle, those girls are going to wake up. They're going to wake up. It may take a while, but think about it. You've been neglecting that area. So they're going to wake up because now they actually have a chance to win. And you let that other leader step up to be a leader. I can't even tell you how many green status leaders I have seen who have been checked out of their business, you know, barely squeaking by with their PRS every month. And when we did this, all of a sudden, my messages lit up. They were like, oh my God. And now, 800 PRS, 1,200 PRS. They are stepping up to the plate and they're excited about their business again. And a lot of them said to me, you know, something was missing in my business and I didn't know what it was. So anyways, yes. So you scoop up those girls as much as you can and realize, my favorite phrase, that which is for you will not pass you. You catch who you can, you know? Okay, so let's, do I recommend life coaching? Do you need one to be successful? You do not need a life coach to be successful. You really don't. You really don't. The beauty of this business is that it really brings our own issues to the surface, doesn't it? It really shows us. There's 3 things you need to be able to do. You need to be able to sell, you need to be able to sponsor, and you need to be able to lead. Selling, if you don't know how to sell, find a book, How to Sell. Pretty much read everything from Tom Big Al Schreider, okay? How to Build Network Marketing Leaders, and then all the rest of his. He's got everything on sponsoring and all that stuff. But you need to know how to sell. You need to know how to sponsor. Sponsoring is as easy as saying, hey, why aren't you doing this with me? It's making friends, always making new friends, always making new friends. Find new friends, find new friends, find new friends, find new friends. And then when you're done, find some more new friends. Always making friends. You're running for mayor. You're making friends everywhere you go. You don't want to go to a party? You should go to a party because you need to make new friends. Have you made any new friends this week? Always making new friends. And when you become friends, at some point, and it's planting seeds, okay? You don't go plant, you know, your kids do the little bean, you know, in the little plastic cup, and they plant the bean, and then the little bean kind of, right? Well, you don't go plucking that sucker when it's just little tiny. It's just barely sprouting out. Hi, you want to join my team? No. Wait till it's like a plant. Then you pluck a leaf or something, right? I don't know. I'm not a farmer. I'm just saying. You have to build those friendships, and then at some point you say, why aren't you doing this with me yet? That's it. Write it down. Why aren't you doing this with me yet? Yet. Why aren't you doing this with me yet? Crazy pants? We would have so much fun. That's it. But you don't say that to just random Joe Schmo. You have to be friends with Joe. And then you say, hey Schmo, why aren't you doing this with me yet? That's sponsoring. And leading, how do you lead? Show them how to sell and show them how to sponsor. Duplicate what you're doing. Duplicate it. Duplicatable. Okay, let's see. You guys have good questions. Listen to me, Kendra. She says, tears. Can't wait to have that feeling of abundance. You can have that feeling right now. Imagine. Imagination is law of attraction. Imagine what it would feel like, and it will call it to you. Do that now. Do that now. Instant relief. If it's making you cry, that's the feeling. That's the feeling. Seriously. I never talked about this business so much as when I started making money, because I'm like, oh, everybody needs to know about this. Oh my gosh. You know? Okay. Imagine it, Megan. You just cry, sister. You just let it go. Okay, my team is small, 5 girls. What's your advice for me to help motivate and excite them to help get them building? Paula, there's nothing you can do. Paula, there's nothing you can do. No. Runner's gonna run, sleeper's gonna sleep. There's nothing you can do except be an example. Except say, hey, listen, this is what I'm doing today. What are you doing today? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Oh, okay, well, this is what I'm doing. Do it with me. Let's check in with each other today. We'll check in with each other tonight. I'm going to go talk to 5 people today. I'm going to make 5 new friends today. You make 5 new friends. I'll make 5 new friends. We'll check back here later. That's what you do. But here's the thing. When I was first starting, and then I remember the first month I hit pink. And then, you start the new month and you're back to 0. Oh, that was brutal. Then I hit blue. And then started back at 0. And I thought every month, I'm like, how are we going to do this again? How are we going to do this again? Well, you know how you do it again? It's because you have new people every month. You should have new people every month. Everyone should be sponsoring 3 to 5 people a month, at least, okay? I say 3 to 5 because, and talk about law of attraction, I have always said, I sponsor 3 to 5 people a month. I sponsor 3 to 5 people a month. 3 to 5 people a month. I sponsor 3 to 5 people a month. I then do the activities and I talk about the business, whatever, but I don't stress about it. And then it just happens. It's magic. I'm telling you, I'm like Shari Potter, okay? I'm Shari Potter and I am showing you the magic wand. And that is how you do it. You go around saying, I sponsor 3 to 5 people a month. Wonder where that person's going to come from. Oh, I better talk to this, you get an inkling. I better talk to this lady over here because she might be one of my 3 to 5. You have to constantly be planting seeds. Remember the little bean sprout? You got to constantly be planting those seeds because it's going to take a while for those to grow. So you need to be planting seeds and your peeps need to be planting seeds because your team, let's say it's 5 people this month. Next month, it should be 15. And the next month, it should be 30. And the next month, it should be 45. And the next month, it should, do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? If it's 5 and 5 and 5 and 5, because I'm telling you, out of those 5 people, let me take a guess. Only 2 of the 5 have sold anything. The other 3, there's an old saying, it's easier to give birth than to raise the dead. Yeah, runner's gonna run. Oh, Brandy says, I got myself twisted because I thought I needed to feel hungry to motivate me to hustle, but that was wrong. Do you know something that hit me like a ton of bricks? I read something very recently that said, you cannot be poor enough to help the poor. You cannot be sick enough to help the sick. So sometimes, I know, in the American culture, at least, because I know there's a lot of you from other countries here, but in the American culture, there's a real stigma around being rich and having a lot of money, okay? Where people with a lot of money are bad, and people who don't have a lot of money are pure. Do you know what I'm saying? Where like, those rich people, they, rah, 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 rah. It's like this kind of undercurrent of negativity that's directed at people who have a lot of money. But here's the thing. I helped whoever I could when I was struggling for money. And guess how many people I can help now that I'm not struggling for money? Look at what Oprah does. Look at what Oprah does. Was Oprah going to be able to help anybody living in Mississippi? No. She could still live in Mississippi. Do you know what I'm saying? If she hadn't followed her dreams and pursued her dreams, would she ever be able to help as many people as she has? Her school in Africa, would she ever have been able to do that and change? She's going to change the culture of that entire country. I'm telling you that right now. You change a girl's life, you change a woman, you change the world, because we're the ones raising the kids, you know? So that's the first thing. You know, you can be compassionate to people, but you can help more by rising higher. And Paula says, I can't make myself dream big. It scares me. Are you scared of success? Because a lot of people are scared of success. But if you think of it in the aspect of, I'm going to work as hard as I can. I am going to follow my heart. I'm going to follow my intuition. I am going to go where these little breadcrumbs lead me and do the very best that I can do, because my intention is to just keep building my empire and earning money so that I can help more people, so that I can spread the word. To whom much is given, much is expected. And the more you are given, the more you can give. And there is no better feeling in the world. And I know you all know that. So when abundance comes, how do you deal with not feeling worthy? Oh, well, Michelle, that's a very good point, because little known fact, I struggled with that big time when I first started making money, because all of a sudden, I mean, it turned into stupid amounts of money. And I was like, thrilled, but then I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, and there's so many people on my team that are, struggling financially, and oh, I wish I could share with them, and oh, I wish I could give it to them, and oh, I don't, and then I got caught up in this. I used to give away big incentives because I thought that I thought that's what I had to do. I had to give big incentives because I have all this money. And then it goes through your mind like, well, I didn't, even when I hit the wall of influence, I'm like, I didn't do this, the team did this. But then I'm getting the recognition for it, and I'm getting the pay for it, and it is it'll mess with your mind. But over the years now, what I realized, because what happened is when I was giving away those incentives, all of a sudden, I realized people were expecting it. People were, what's the word? Entitled? People were acting entitled to what I had earned. And what I know now about the law of attraction, I attracted those people because inside I thought the same thing. They were mirroring to me what my inside voice was saying. And I got really taken advantage of. And one day I got pushed too far. And I finally, something in me clicked. I got pissed. And I stood up for myself. And something did switch, because when I stood up for myself, all of that guilt went away. Yes, I have been tremendously blessed. But I've worked my butt off, and I deserve every piece of this. And so does everybody else. That's the thing. Everyone else deserves it just as much. And they will get it in their timing. They will get it when everybody has this. Our lives are like this puzzle. And when all the pieces fit, and when you work on yourself and you work on that worthiness, I did a talk in Portland, and I showed a picture of all these babies that were in their little incubators, not incubators, but you know, like in the nursery at the hospital. There's all these little babies, right? And they're all lined up. And I underneath the picture, I put who's worthy. And so I said, all right, let's look at all these babies. Let's decide which baby's worthy and which one isn't worthy. And everybody laughed. And I'm like, well, why is that funny? I'm sure one of them is a jerk. I'm sure one of them does not sleep and cries all the time and is not worthy. And I'm sure some of them are more worthy than others. And everybody laughs, right? And I said, okay, I get it. Babies are cute. Every baby is worthy. They're so sweet. You know, every baby is worthy. Let's fast forward to them being 2 years old. Okay, now, which one's the jerk? Which one's worthy and which one's not worthy? Everybody laughs. Take those kids and graduate them up to 13 years old. Who's worthy and who's not worthy? Make them 25 years old. Okay, now who's worthy and who's not worthy? Do you see what I'm saying? You are here on this planet. You are worthy. And if you feel unworthy, then that's the lesson you need to learn. Is you need to learn how to love yourself. No matter what has happened to you, no matter what you have done, you need to learn, how do I love myself? How do I love myself? Because you are lovable and you are worthy. And I tell you what, I am going to make so much money that Oprah is going to call me, and Oprah's going to say, Shari, I need you on Super Soul Sunday because you need to tell everybody how you made all that money. You know why? Because the more money I make, the more people I can help, and the more people I can reach. That's it right now. You heard me, law of attraction. So don't be ashamed to say it. And don't be ashamed to make money. And don't be ashamed if you are making more money than people on your team, because it just means they're not there yet. Never follow somebody who doesn't have or hasn't done what you want to do. Okay? Don't ever take advice from anybody who doesn't have what you want or hasn't done what you want to do. I have done it. I have shown and keep showing how to do it. Now, you can't look at my time frame with Unique, because there were 25 years before that when I was building lots of other skills. So you can't look and say, oh, well, Shari hit black status in 6 months. You can't do that, because I have a background in marketing and advertising. I've been a manager, I was a retail manager. I had a team of 25 people. I thought that was a lot. I have sales out the hoo-ha. So experience speaks for a lot. And so, like when I hear people say all the time, oh, I'm just not good at online parties. And I'll say, well, how many online parties have you done? Well, I've done 4. Okay. You need more experience. You need more experience. You have to do it over and over and over and over, because experience is going to teach you what reading or videos can't. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Let me see. Oh, Carrie, I left my credit card home this week and was able to buy a birthday present for my daughter with my Unique money. That felt good. Doesn't it feel good when you have those moments that you feel so good, or you get your little message that you sold a mascara and you have $7.25 in your account? Celebrate that. Celebrate that. Focus on the good stuff, and more good stuff will come to you. Okay, we have been going for a while, boys and girls. Oh, yes, I grew up on Hamburger Helper. Are you kidding me? I don't eat it now. Look at this. Look at all this goodness. Okay, so let me just scroll real quick because I'm going to let you guys go. Yes, Kathy, 20% of your team does 80% of the work. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Nicole says, I left because I didn't have uplifting people in my upline. The whole point is to uplift, isn't it? That didn't happen. Okay, Nicole, now I'm going to give you some tough loving. That is an employee mindset. Your success or failure is up to you. Whether you stay or you go is up to you. The culture of your business rests with you. You are the one that creates the culture for your team. If you don't like the culture that has been created by your upline, you don't have to have anything to do with them, because they're not your boss and they're not your employee. You're not their employee. You don't have to have anything to do with that. You create your own. But you see, you learned. You know, it's never win or lose. It's we win or we learn. So you learned. You learned, and now you know that whatever venture you have in the future, it's up to you. It's not up to them. I don't give a rat's patoot what the attitude of my upline is. I never looked to them. I looked to them to learn how to do online parties and to understand the compensation plan. That's it. The rest is up to me, because I am a small business owner and you are a small business owner. So, said with love, but that's just the truth. Let's see, what are we doing? Okay. Yeah, and hey, you know what? Every company is not for everybody. I mean, please, how many companies have we all, and I'm not talking direct sales, I'm just saying over the course of your life, how many jobs have you had? Oh, for heaven's sakes, I've had a million jobs. I've had a million jobs. And it's no reflection. It's where I was in my life and what was working for me. And sometimes it was a good choice to go somewhere else. And sometimes I was like, shoot, screwed the pooch on that one. But I learned, and it taught me lessons. And then down the road, when I would start having the same experience and think, oh, I want to leave, then I would go, no, because remember that happened last time. And the bottom line is, whatever challenges you're having in your life, whether you're having those challenges in your work or you're having those challenges in your relationship, the only thing you have control over is yourself. And so you have to look to see if there's something in you, and most often there is, something in you that you need to grow and develop, you know? Whether it's you need to learn some new skills, maybe you need to be coachable. That's a big one. That's a big one, because I will be honest, I get frustrated when I'm trying to coach people and they're telling me the problems they're having in their business, and I show them the solution and they argue with me. I want to have like a big honkin' necklace sometimes. And this is not normally me, right? But I just kind of sometimes want to have a big honkin' necklace that says Black Status Level 2 and say, would you read this, please? Do what I say. I know. Sorry, I'm a brat. But I've been there. Like, there's nothing. That's why I do these open Q&As. There is nothing you can ask me that I haven't experienced or done or been there, failed at it 150,000 times and figured it out. That's what I'm saying. How do you get people to join that actually want to work? I'm new to the company. I want to do this right. Yeah, you kind of have no control over that. Sorry, no, you can't make somebody do something they don't want to do. No. It's like the gym. If you worked at a gym and your job was to get people to join the gym, you get people to join the gym, but how do you get them to go to the gym? They'll go to the gym for the first 2 weeks, and then they go in the witness protection program. So it's a numbers game. You need 4 elites to hit black status. There are 4 aces in a deck of 52 cards. Sometimes you flip those cards and you get a couple aces right off the bat. Sometimes those aces are like number 48, 49. Like, you know, you gotta kiss a lot of frogs. So you just have to keep at it. But I would recommend you do not sell that kit. You promote that kit as a business opportunity. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. So I think we're good. Oh, wait, what's this? What's your number one tip? Hold on, let me scroll on down. Hold on now. How do you deal with a non-supportive spouse? Well, that's a good question. The problem is bigger than unique. The problem really doesn't have anything to do with unique. It has to do with the man and the relationship. And, you know, I mean, I know a lot of people, and this is true, you know, you can try to include him in what you're doing and talk more about what you're doing. I know in the beginning, I didn't talk as much to my husband about it because I thought, oh, he's not going to be interested. But then I realized I needed to get him on board. So I started talking about more things, you know, instead of keeping it to myself. But, well, and then once he saw that there was some money coming in, even just a little bit, I mean, at that point, $100 a month extra would have changed our lives. Then he was like, oh, okay. You know, he started seeing it was a legit business. But, you know, if somebody's unsupportive, you know, you need to take a look and see, are they unsupportive in other areas? You know, because a lot of times that's the case too. They're unsupportive. They're just generally unsupportive. You're just noticing it now, is all I'm saying. So, yeah. Sometimes just a good old-fashioned heart-to-heart and saying, listen here, buddy, I need you to get on this lash train because this is happening and this is my business and this is something that can change our lives, and so we have to figure out how to make this work. And maybe it's that you need to get off your phone at 7 o'clock every night and have family time. For me, after a year and a half of working until 11 o'clock at night, I was working seriously like 16-hour days every day, 7 days a week. I never took a day off for a year and a half. And Darren was like, I'm sick of looking at the back of your computer. So I offered to change the cover. Maybe give him something nice to look at. A little change. Yeah, he didn't think that was funny. Yeah. So, but wait, somebody had something about, oh, Casey, I just talked about not promoting the kit. Maybe you missed that part. Because if you offer the kit, then it's like selling a collection. And then they get the kit, and then it cuts you off from all of their friends, okay? Okay, think about this. I didn't say this part yet. Okay. You're standing in a hallway, and there's like 50 doors, okay? Each door is a customer. You meet that customer, that opens the door, okay? Every customer opens a door. She's got all her friends in her room. Thousands of friends. Each room has thousands of friends, and that customer is standing at the front door. She's the gatekeeper. If she joins your team, that's amazing because she's got all these friends to sell to. But if she's a kidnapper, and if she's just buying it because it's a good deal for 99 bucks to get all that makeup, you are now cut off from all her friends because you can't reach out to them because they belong to her. But she's not going to sell to them because she just wanted the makeup. So you just screwed yourself out of potentially having 1,000 new friends. So boom, close that door. Next door. Hi. You know, that's how people sponsor a lot. And here's what happens. People offer the kit because it's a good deal. You should sign up. So people buy the kit, no intention ever of selling. They're not going to host a party for you because why would they? Now they're a presenter. They could host their own damn party. So not only have you cut yourself off from them and all of their people, but now it starts messing with your head because 6 months down the road, you forget that you had all these kidnappers and you're like, why is my business slow when I have twice the number of people on my team now as I did 6 months ago? And then you start to get down on yourself, and then you start to think negative thoughts, and then you start to spiral down, right? Because it's the law of attraction, and you're attracting what you're feeling. It's just not good. It's not good. No. I say quality over quantity. That's just me. That is just me. Okay, so do you do the DTS? I don't know what that means. Okay. I struggle with people using other presenters to try their products and turn around to purchase from someone else. Feels like they got what they wanted to see and feels so frustrating. Well, Samantha, you know, we can't control what people do. The only thing you can do is you can make sure that you're building strong relationships with people, because if you have a strong relationship with somebody, they're going to buy from you. You got to bless and release. You know, here's the thing. Two things in life. Things you can control and things you can't. If you can control it, if you can change it, do something about it, fine, do it. If you can't control it, you got to just let it go. You got to let it go. You got to let it go. Okay, this has been going on forever, guys. I love you. I love you. I will go through the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful weekend. Next Friday, I don't know that I'll be doing Facebook Live because I will be in Costa Rica. But I might pop in next week sometime and do a Facebook Live and give you guys an update on the girls' school and everything like that. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there. This was a whole hour today. This was fun. All right, have a wonderful day. Bye.